Hello, class. This is John Wanamaker's introduction for the EMS instructor for our methodology class at Johnson Community College. I know that when we did our introduction to 10 minute type thing of who we are a little bit in class, we kind of give a quick synopsis of who we are. So this one being that we have to do it for 10 minutes, I guess we'll go a little bit more in depth of who we are, what we're doing, and so forth here. So again, I'm John Wanamaker. I live in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's part of Hampton Roads. It's a multi-city area, about almost 2 million people, and I live in Chesapeake. There, so the most southern cities of Virginia there touches North Carolina. So a lot of people actually transfer back and forth, commute back and forth quite a bit there. Um, I'm a Navy veteran, 14 years in the Navy. And I served at a time period when in '83 where Beirut happened and all the way through the first Gulf War. And I decided at that time period, after a while, to go and get out in '97. I went to paramedic school then. But being in the Navy there, we learned so much in the medical field. It kind of precipitated me to say, well, what can we do further besides you wanted to go be a nurse or a doctor or anything else? And at that time, I thought, oh my God, this is too much school. Why in the world I want to do this? So just kind of get my feet in order what I want to do. I stayed in the Navy and then I decided later on to go to school there. I also, when I got out, I took a stint with Princess Cruise Lines. Yes, they actually have paramedics on Princess Cruise Lines. And last time I checked, they're the actually only ship that actually has paramedics in their crew, in the medical crew there. We laugh about this because people say you look like one of the guys on Love Boat. Well, actually, Princess Cruises is the ship they use in the Love Boat. For those that maybe remember that, a lot of people won't. But that was interesting. We get uniforms like everything else does. It's good. It was a good stint contract. You get contract when you do there, when you work there. It's about 3-4 months at a time, and you're off for 2 months and work 3-4 months at a time. It's pretty hectic. You don't get to act too much like a regular passenger because they know you're not a passenger. They know your crew. You actually have to wear this uniform at all times when you're out on deck with people, unless you're on duty. And then you have like a blue smock type uniform we have, and they actually have your name so they know who you are. Now, the funny thing about it is all of your name tags tells you where you're from. You know, like you go to different amusement parks that have, from Zimbabwe or from Italy or Canada, where, well, here it tells who you are, what country you're from. And of course, John, United States. So when we met Americans, they were happy to see, American. Hey, you're American. That's pretty good. But this is really good to understand on Princess Cruises. One thing we learned that they do European medicine, which is different from American medicine. You'd be surprised. Although you had to be national registered paramedic to be on the ship to work on this, but the rules were a little bit different how they treated patients. But it was a good learning experience. I only did this for a year. I wasn't trying to stay there for very long. I just wanted the experience to work on a cruise line as a paramedic, and I got to do it. Currently, I work for Currituck Fire EMS. I've been there since 2014. I actually love this place. It's really great. This is one of the very up and coming agencies in Carolina, and learning how the system works. It's different from Virginia, where I actually first started. I am actually on the SMAC team, which a lot of people, guys, know what that is. And Currituck is one of several, regions that have the MAB, and I have to learn how to drive this big old ambulance bus here. The good thing about it, it holds about 30 people to a certain extent, and comfortably, it doesn't hold 30 people. Comfortably, it really holds about 15 to 20. If you had a bunch of junior high school people with their statue, height and weight limit, you could probably push 30 pretty easy. But we know people are not that small, or not that square box that they have here. If you had a bunch of military people, perfect, but that's not how it works here. But it's a really good bus, a tool to use that we give out, or actually we help operate throughout the state, North Carolina, especially on the eastern seaboard and Dare County area. I'm actually also on the search and rescue for North Carolina. This was fun. This kind of made me think back in the military days, being with the Marines and running around the woods, learning how to search, find people here. The only difference is we're not shooting them. We're actually finding it. That's pretty good. It's not bad here. I'm actually one of the infection control officers also for Currituck County. There's two of us, and of course, during this time of this pandemic, this was a big thing that we had to go through. We actually made YouTube videos and talk about hand washing, how to wear a mask, and so forth, following all the CDC guidelines. And this was a big push from the county, and then we also were involved with the multiple vaccinations that that occurred throughout the county. We actually made it news, of course, because a lot of people were transferring from Virginia, coming to the state of North Carolina to get a vaccine, and they're like, they should not be coming down here. But we did quite a bit. It was pretty impressive of how North Carolina actually had their act together in doing the best way to get people through the line and get the vaccines, where other people had a lot of difficulties in getting things together. I went to Tidewater Community College for paramedic, and I taught there also as an instructor there. I'm actually now rehired there as an adjunct instructor, teaching some of the lab classes there. So I'm kind of excited about that and the practical stations there. I went to my undergrad school, the American Public University. And of course, I'm currently in my dual master's degree in emergency disaster management and in homeland security. So this is two big things in education. I did not anticipate myself going back to school at an older age, thinking about doing this, but so enough, I'm doing the exact same thing. So I'm excited. It still gives me a lot of eye-opening of what we could produce and help other people get into this business. So I'm kind of excited at that part. I do teach EMT classes in Virginia. I teach mostly in Isle of Wight County. It's up in Smithfield town there. And it's funny that when you guys will find us later on, your students, I've been teaching since 2005, and students will start taking pictures of you, what you do, how you say certain things. And so it's kind of funny. I put this up here because students pay attention. Even how you say, I have a saying, most instructors will have a certain saying or phrase they say all the time. And I have one that they all remember. But we got involved with a lot of different agencies when we do our mass casualty shows. It's not just your class. We show the whole process when we do mass casualty in the whole course curriculum. And then they actually were able to really practice it after they go through it. So that was really good how we do that. So your class here. My free time, I actually like history. I love history, a lot of different aspects about it. One thing I found I was able to go to a couple years ago was to a reenactment of Gettysburg. I know there's a lot of Renaissance people. I have some friends who like doing reenactments of different time periods, especially medieval and Renaissance. But I like American history also, and I had the chance to go to see this, and it was actually one of their anniversary events that I just happened to go, and I was enjoy. It's like, wow. And this came out shortly after the two big movies, Gods and Generals, and of course, Gettysburg. So this was a really sight for me to see, and I ran up here. One thing that was interesting is even though, you see all the battle stuff going on, and you can see the bottom right corner, there's the medical people. They actually have the guys come in the medical tent, take someone off the field, and kind of did the stretcher carrying back and forth, and that was really cool. I caught my eye real quick about that, and everyone, did their whole process there. My partner and I, we actually like Disney. We are Disney pass holders, and we go to Disney quite often. We actually probably own stock there, but we like for our travel time or leisure, we actually travel throughout the world, and we like going to Disney. One of our big thing that we like to do. It's just a lot of enjoyment. You kind of forget about everything else that's going on. We got so involved with it. We've been to, of course, Disneyland and Disney World. We've done both of this here. And Disney, like I said, a lot of people like going to different music parks. You forget life for a while. They say, this is your happy place. It is in a kind of fun place because you just could just do everything else. Now, Disney, if it was not been there before, it is not a big roller coaster type park. It is not. It is more of an enjoyment, family type orient. You have a lot of shows, and a lot of different rides, and a lot of different things, a lot of characters out there. Just kind of give you that fun place to be, and the smells and everything else. A little bit different than other amusement parks that's out there. It's just one of the nice ones to go to. One other thing we like doing is Disney bounding. What does that mean? You're able to dress up as one of the characters, and they have like dapper days and certain days throughout the year you could dress up. Because they don't like people just dressed up in costumes. And you can't be so close to the regular costume they have there. that you take away from Disney, but you could kind of dress up like them. So, hey, I got to be Captain America. That was kind of fun. And this is actually in California. We did this one here. So that was really cool. They did that. Some people recognized who you were. Some people did not. It depends where you were. So this is California's Disney Bound here. We also did this in Florida. They actually had Not So Scary Halloween. And my partner, he's a very good makeup artist. Okay, and as you can tell, he made himself up as the Mad Hatter, and I am Dr. Fauclair from the Prince and Frog, I believe there. And then we met up with some other people who got dressed up and did stuff with this, and it was pretty cool because people took pictures of you and to see how well you made up a good character type thing. So it's one of the fun things to do, just something out of the ordinary. We also like exploring the world, like I said before. We have been all around quite a bit. Now, myself, I've been to, we actually both have been to England. He's been to England, I haven't. We've been to Italy before. This first time we've been to Greece. This is fun. And this time we took a bunch of our friends with us. And we got to see the exact same thing. What I found out was really interesting is you see the blue domes that are there. You'll see other cities or other countries, as in Greece, they actually have red domes. But actually, the domes, the color domes, are actually religious symbols for all the churches. And I thought it was really interesting. So in, I guess, Corfu and Santorini, I think it is, theirs is red, and there's a little different architecture. So I thought it was interesting that the dome color we like, see, it indicates that's a church. So, but it's beautiful. That whole area is really, really, really nice. I have found some siblings of mine. And she is an artist, and she works for Human Resources, and this is her art she produced here. I went to see her big debut the other day, and that was really good to see of her art that she has there. As my brother and my mother, I did not know them because I'm adopted, and they found me through 23andMe. So I'm just my little plug-in for, hey, do 23andMe. It kind of works. They found me. That's kind of my slide real quick, how I am, what's going on. One thing is for sure, death is inevitable no matter what we do. I always say to everyone else, enjoy life experiences. This is the best way to get through life. I always say those that enjoy the most life experiences before you die wins. So there you go. Thank you.